listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia. Tune in every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Transformation Talk Radio.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. A very common and powerful urge today is to have a love in your life, but we've seen the way that most people go about finding love is not in their best interest. And those methods are setups for failed relationships in the future. Well, yeah, okay. In today's show, we're going to talk about the best ways to find love. That sounds good to me. The benefits of staying single. That's questionable. And about how you're attracted to others, which can be very deceiving. At the end, we'll talk about shortcuts for those who are determined to find someone, even if they may not be ready. Jason, let's talk about the reality of dating.
Well, and just so you know, for everyone, on February 2nd, it was our anniversary, 17 years being married.
Yes.
And we're just still going strong. We're like newlyweds all the time.
We are,
you know,
yes.
And it's
Yes.
just we want to share that, but there's some things that we found out, and that's why we're doing this show. You
Right.
know, we did a show about love before Valentine's Day, and this is our after Valentine's Day. So
Right.
just so you know,
Right.
it's President's Day today, and this, I think love is a good way of taking that extra time and kind of focusing on yourself. So
Exactly. So,
what is the reality of dating?
well, in so many ways, Jason, I know how dysfunctional it can be.
It is, and we're not taught self-awareness, and as a result, dating has deteriorated into actors playing a role, putting forth self-delusions, comparing spec sheets about each other.
Yeah.
So many of our clients have complained over the years about dating in general, and more recently about online dating.
Yeah.
I've heard
big
about
one.
courses that are basically telling people how to market themselves efficiently. But
Okay.
is that the way?
Well,
Is that the way to have a good, solid, healthy relationship?
well, if you do programming, that's the only
In
way
this
you
world
would go.
today, it makes
Yes,
sense.
it does.
Programming where you kind of tell yourself what to think and
But
feel.
you and I both know, and we are going to talk about it in a few minutes, we both know that that's not the case. But let's talk about the dating indicators that people have at the moment.
We've heard so many of these,
Oh.
okay? It's a programming method to determine someone's suitability.
Yes.
Does the other person offer to pay for half the date? Do they have manners?
Yes.
How are they dressed? What type of job do they have? Are they ambitious? Do they have their own house? Do they listen? Do they
Right.
look you in the eye?
Yes.
All of those things can be faked. And,
Yes.
so a good marketer that may do well,
Right.
that doesn't mean that's going to be a good relationship.
Sure.
And that's part of the problem.
Well-
So how do you know?
Okay.
You know?
Well, okay. Then next question is the current playbooks that are out there, do they work?
No.
Okay.
That's by dating by indicator, dating by spec sheet. This is what I'm looking for, and you put on your profile, this is who I am, and this is what I'm looking for. Most of those aren't really honest, emotionally intelligent, or even
Or what you think someone else, or what someone else thinks that they're looking for.
exactly.
That's the way I would
Exactly.
say it. Yes.
So, so many people are aware of their preferences, but
Yes.
they're usually superficial. And so some people say, well, I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
And those things like steady employment, which is a luxury today anyways.
Yes.
financially stable. Well, what does that mean? And
Right.
again, today, who knows? All those things, they're just superficial.
Do you live in the right place? Um um uh do you eat the right food?
Yes.
Those are really
Even
superficial.
even your political leanings these days,
Yes.
it's a big deal.
Yes.
So, but that doesn't work. Those
Yeah.
strategies, those techniques, those spec sheets, when you try and evaluate someone by their resume,
Mm.
and I would say the same thing about employers, but that's a whole different
Yeah.
show, okay? You want to know who the person is.
Yes.
But if you don't know who you are, I mean, how would you even know whether the other
Correct.
person's being authentic
Correct.
and if they're a good match for you?
Exactly.
So here's probably the most important part of this show,
Okay.
and I'm gonna summarize what we're trying to say today in this
Statement.
statement. Yes,
Okay.
the subconscious mind is looking for someone to help them overcome issues, baggage, and trauma. And so when we're attracted to someone or we're not attracted to someone,
Right.
or we have to find a mate or we have to find a connection, we're our subconscious mind is talking to us in a way that's unconscious to us
Correct.
that we can't do this, overcome these traumas and this baggage and these issues on our own. We
Correct.
have to help someone. We need someone else to help us do that.
Well,
But what we say, and this is
exactly.
the ecosystem approach in a nutshell, do it yourself. Find your power, uncover who you are authentically, and then once you know who that is, first of all, then you're in a great position to determine if someone is suitable for you because
You know authentically what you really want and need and the energy you want to be around.
and you don't have the delusion that this other person is going to help you overcome this baggage or issues or
And
traumas.
or that it's let you believe it's their job to carry your stuff.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's a big deal.
And there's a reason why I said this to Patricia earlier. I've heard this statistic a lot over the years, but
Okay.
most murders happen
Oh,
with spouses.
that really surprised me. I was like, what? Is that true? But then I think back on, let's see, on my lifetime, I can really understand that. And I know I'm being kind of flippant about it, but the maddest I've ever been at anyone has been partners that I've had in my lifetime. And I had expectations they would be like this, and they weren't like that at all. Or they had expectations of me, and that wasn't the
Well,
case.
that goes back to your subconscious mind is looking for someone to help you with those things.
Yes.
And if the person you choose doesn't do that, doesn't show up, which is normal, which is
Yes.
which is very appropriate, the rage that happens, the feeling of betrayal that happens,
And the disappointment that you're wasting your time.
the hurt and the anger,
Exactly.
of course, people get murdered.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
dissuade anybody from
okay.
having a
So,
relationship, but
Jason, well, then let's go for this one.
okay.
What is the first steps to a positive relationship?
First of all, and I don't
And
like
the
to
most important,
know yourself. And
you've
it's
got
an
to.
energy process. It's not a thinking process.
Mhm.
It's not, you don't go out in the woods for 30 days by yourself and say, I'm going to learn about myself that way. No, it doesn't work. It's an
No,
energy process.
Right. And by the way, going out in the woods for 30 days, you learn how to survive. And I
And you
have to tell
might be
you,
cold, miserable, or
and
uncomfortable, but that
exactly,
doesn't mean you'll know more about yourself.
exactly. Other than I should have brought another sweater.
Yeah.
Things like that. Sorry, I can't help that kind of thing. So
So
go ahead.
number two,
Is
know your issues and how they manifest in your life. Most people have no idea.
That's correct.
They have no idea what their issues are and how they're manifesting.
Well,
Yes.
I was just going to jump in and say, if you have any idea of how something manifests, take one step even in your life, take one step back and get a broader view, and you will see that often it comes from being programmed.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
So, and okay. Oh, here's a big one. We've seen this so many times.
Correct.
People are so hyper focused on what they want. They don't know, you have to know what you have to offer a mate.
Yes. Yes.
Most people, they either go into shame and say, well, I don't have anything to offer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just,
Wait. Oh, poor me.
or, and the shame is an illusion too.
Yes, it is.
Unworthiness is an illusion because you're not, if you have that shame and unworthiness, that doesn't mean you know yourself. It just means that you've been programmed to have that.
That's exactly right.
Because when you uncover who you are and your essence is talking to you, it's never a bad thing.
Okay. Next one.
Okay. Understand personality types.
This one is huge, everyone, because when you do understand personality types, and we're talking about the Enneagram here.
Well, that's what we use.
That's what we
I
use.
think that's the most
several.
valuable.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's several. And Jason and I both have really looked at all of them. And I have to say that it's really interesting how we both how when you understand what someone's Enneagram type is about, then you can see certain things about them that they don't even see themselves in.
Exactly. And we're not saying that it's the end all or
No,
tells
not
you
at all.
who you are authentically,
No.
but it tells you what you can expect from that person.
That is exactly right.
And there's one other, and that's
Okay.
decide that emotional evolution and actually pursue that goal.
Okay.
We
like
say
that.
using the ecosystem approach,
Right.
but is that person trying to make themselves better? Are they trying to evolve? They're trying to grow and develop. And it doesn't matter whether they're 20 or 80.
And that's correct.
It's a very important part.
So, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
Dating has become dysfunctional with people relying on superficial indicators and self-delusions. To find a positive relationship, one must know themselves, their issues, what they have to offer, while actively pursuing emotional evolution. Developing self-awareness is always key, so you know your issues or baggage and have confidence about what you have to offer. Many people do not have the knowledge or awareness, so dating is reduced to clever marketing and great acting.
Yes.
The struggles with love come from the subconscious mind that is looking for someone to help them overcome their issues, baggage, and trauma. And so we say, do it yourself using the ecosystem approach.
In the next segment, we're going to talk about being attracted to another person and how that can help you or hurt you and what it means so you can work on it. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about being attracted to another person and how that can help you or hurt you and what it means so you can work on it. Jason, why are you attracted to certain people?
Well, in order to understand, you have to see that attraction is an energy.
Okay.
What people are attracted to is an energy, and it can be distorted, and it can be cleared, and it can be refined. So, I know when I've been married twice before, and that doesn't mean anything. It just shows how stupid I was two other times. But my first marriage, it was basically based on I'm kind of embarrassed to say this right now, but it was a sexual attraction.
Yes.
And that my like of that's her looks obscured almost everything. And then I made up in my mind all these things about her that just had nothing to do with reality whatsoever. So if you understand that it's an energy, first of all, that comes from your essence. But we see that everyone has negative energy attached to their essence, their soul.
That's true. That is
This
true.
negative energy colors who you are attracted to and can be very deceiving and deceptive.
Right.
It's not about being sexual. It's about who and maybe the physical traits that are attractive or not attracted to you. And it may not even be about physical traits. It could be all sorts of things.
Yes.
We've seen so many people who use the feeling that someone appeals to them or is attractive as an indicator of suitability. No. In fact, some people who have a lot of trauma, a lot of baggage, a
Right.
lot of issues, who you're attracted to is probably a red flag. Now, people try and game that. We've had clients that try and game that. Well, I'm going to find something that I'm completely not attracted to, so it must be better. And that doesn't work either.
Well,
You know,
and that's not what and that is not what,
that's not what we're trying to say.
not at all.
And it's not really a solution,
Hmm.
because you have to know. If you know yourself, this goes back to the same thing.
Right.
You have self-awareness. If you know yourself, then you can know what your issues are and know if those are at play about people that you're attracted to or not.
Right. Well, talk about the types of attraction, Jason.
This is really important.
Okay.
Understand what they are and the energies and to clear them or clear what's behind them or what motivates them.
Okay.
Here's some examples.
Okay.
My first one, sexual physical.
Yes.
Okay. This type can obscure real objectivity, look for common sexual appetites. So, I, um, both Patricia and I are very sexual people, and we're really harmonious in that way. The truth is that when someone appeals to me sexually, doesn't mean that they're going to be sexual,
That's
you
correct.
know,
And you
and,
learned that.
or the opposite of that. If you're
Exactly.
not sexual or not as sexual, and you should be able to look at someone else's and see what their appetites are,
That
so
is
you
correct.
can understand it and calibrate it.
And I'm going to jump in and say, when you use the ecosystem approach and you start removing your baggage from you, you have better clarity, more better clarity, but also things become clearer about what you really want and who you are and how you can get up and go get it.
Yes.
So go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted.
A big one is economic.
Yes.
And that a lot of times comes from the need to be taken care of,
Mm,
to overcome insecurities with money. If
yes.
I have a nice car, then I must be more worthy than if I could
If
drive around the junker.
yes, exactly.
Power and fame. Oh my gosh, that is such
So many
a
people.
turn on for people, and it doesn't tell you who the person is, and
No, their talent doesn't tell you that at all.
no, it doesn't. And
Yes,
and the love of that energy is connected to fame, and it obscures the individual.
correct.
You can't see if that person's going to be a good match for you.
Correct.
Artistic. So many people love that an artistic person, but having creativity is underdeveloped and looking to others to fill that need. So maybe you don't have the creativity in yourself and you want it.
Right.
So you
Go look for somebody
else that has
yes,
it, and
exactly.
the better way is, of course, to just develop it in yourself.
Right.
Common life experience. Now, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but when you need to work out trauma or baggage, and you look for common life experience,
Correct.
it's a formula for murder again, disaster. I shouldn't say it that way.
Yes,
Yeah,
you should not.
but it
But
just yeah,
in its way, it's so true. And how many relationships I have known in that commonality that when that's all been talked through,
yeah,
there is nothing else.
exactly.
So, next one.
Common interest.
Yes.
Well, of course, that could be positive, but it
Right.
also can be boring.
Right.
Patricia and I really don't have a lot of,
Common interest.
although there's one that's key, which is doing this work,
Exactly.
and it's very a
And
huge
it's
motivator.
really strong for both of us.
A lot of times you are attracted, or you're forced into going with someone because of mutual friends,
Correct.
and they push you in to push you together,
Yeah.
and looking to create a social network that everybody can be part of still.
Right.
That doesn't necessarily work either.
Exactly, because you don't want to disappoint your friends, and then you end up kind of being hooked into something that you really don't want.
Exactly.
So let's talk about the key to understanding attraction.
It's self-awareness and self-knowledge.
Okay.
Do you hear a theme? There's a theme in what we're talking about here.
Self-awareness and self-knowledge.
That comes from an energy process, not
Yes.
from climbing the highest mountain or
And by the way,
driving yourself or
right, but and I do want to say, just because you love climbing the highest mountain doesn't mean you're wrong if you haven't found someone to do that with.
yes, or
In
that's a
your-
common interest, but
Oh, yeah,
but it
as-
doesn't mean, I've seen so many.
Correct.
I watch a lot of travel shows, and Patricia's nice. She watches them with me, and people say after a difficult hike or climb or
Or
whatever.
something challenging. Yes.
Um, this really pushed me. I struggled, but I learned a lot about myself.
Yes.
I don't believe it. I was in a very difficult unit in the Army, and it was a go-to-war unit, and we had a lot of challenges jumping out of airplanes, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And they were scary and they were difficult, and I felt a form of confidence as a result of doing it. But did
Okay.
I learn anything more about myself? No. So,
Mm.
and I see that very clearly now. So
Isn't that interesting? And it took you a while to see that,
it
didn't
it
it?
did. It
Yes.
did. Well, and how? Using the ecosystem approach and
That's
using an
correct.
energy process.
Right.
So, you know, if you go ahead.
Well, I was going to say one of the things we haven't actually touched on, but it's one of the key things regarding relationships,
Mhm.
be them long term, be them short term. It's communication.
Well, so how do you get there? As you start uncovering yourself, and we learn this with the ecosystem
We
approach, and
did.
our clients tell us this all the time. You learn the words to talk about your feelings.
That's correct.
And it sounds kind of obvious, but it's not.
And
And people don't understand when they're jealous, when they're angry,
yes.
when they're bitter, when they're
Mhm.
resentful,
Exactly.
and all of a sudden they have the words, not only have the words for it, but then
Correct.
they can communicate it to someone else.
Right. And one of the things that I've learned in a few of the talents that I have is when you can do something, it's great. When you can teach it, it's even better because you really know what you're doing.
Yes.
You know what that talent, that art is when you can do that. And one of the hardest things there is to actually be able to communicate authentically to someone else, and especially someone, well, that's not, I was going to make a not true statement, but oftentimes we are taught how to kid ourselves or lie to ourselves about
Delude ourselves.
what true authentic communication is.
So here's another really important point, and then we're going to do the summary.
Okay.
But loneliness, and
Mm,
often people are motivated by loneliness to find a mate,
that is correct.
is an energy,
Yes.
and it's not cured by a relationship. Oh
Yes.
my gosh! In
Yeah.
fact, we have seen so many people that have been very, very lonely within a relationship, within a committed relationship.
Been there more than once.
And it doesn't help. That's not the way out of loneliness. And
No.
it's a whole different show, but we'll
It,
have to do that sometime.
by all
So if you're
means.
interested in that, put it in the comments and let us know.
Yes, yes, we and by the way, clearing loneliness, getting rid of loneliness, it does take a little time, don't get me wrong, but there's such an enlightenment when you actually do that.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome. Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
Understanding attraction involves recognizing it as an energy influenced by negative attachments, life issues, and past traumas.
Mhm.
Having personal awareness and self-knowledge are crucial in identifying the motivations behind your personal attractions.
Correct.
This can enable better relationship choices and communication, and using that communication to keep healthy, sustainable, and positive relationships. It's not easy and takes persistence. And the ecosystem approach was created so you can have a way to constantly develop more and more self-awareness for all types of relationships.
Yes.
Also, loneliness is never cured by a relationship. It's an energy that can be removed, cleared, but is not necessarily overcome by simply having a relationship.
Well said. In the next segment, we're going to talk about what to do if you're determined to find someone and how to proceed, even if you're not really ready according to our guidelines. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about what to do if you're determined to find someone and how to proceed, even if you know you're not really ready according to our guidelines. Jason, why is the need so strong to find love?
So, yeah, I want to talk about that because I want to be honest. The
Okay.
truth is, my first two marriages came from my own need to overcome the trauma and the pain that I had in my life through someone else. And now it's very, very clear.
Yes.
And that's why those other two relationships, I mean, the choices were bad from the very beginning, really bad. And so there's no way it could have worked out in a more positive way,
Okay.
you know. But um, again, if I'd known then,
No,
know
then
then what
what
I
I
know
know
now,
now.
yeah.
Yes.
But so why do we need to find a love? Well, it's for that reason. So I want to be honest with this. I know that there are some people out there that okay, I don't care what you say. I want to find someone. I
Right.
just feel this need to find someone. I
I
have to
need a
do that.
connection.
Yes. So um, they carry the pain and hurt that is largely unknown and suppressed. That's why.
They're unaware of it.
Yes, and they cannot or will not wait for more knowledge and awareness.
Hmm.
We understand that. We're actually very sympathetic to that.
Yes.
And we're going to offer you some tips about how to move forward.
Yes.
So if you're going to do that, here's some really practical tips.
Okay. Here's the first one. Your interest and your passions are key. What does that mean, Jason?
That is so important. I can't emphasize that enough. When you have an interest or a passion, and that person is pursuing that interest or passion, their best traits come forward.
Yes.
They create an energy around themselves that is really attractive.
Well, because it is what they love.
Yes,
Yes.
it's a positive energy that acts
Yes.
like a beacon to
Yes.
all possible mates that are very, very positive.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they have to share that passion. All it means is that you're doing your passion and you look really, really attractive.
Right.
And doing and talking about that passion is always positive, creates amazing energy, and distracts a person from the hunt.
Yes.
And um, we have
Exactly.
seen so many. If your passions create positive energy around you,
Correct.
the hunt creates negative energy where you start to be like a predator. I'm gonna get that one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that one,
Exactly.
and that energy doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel
And
attractive.
yet, and let's talk about that from male and female when somebody is being hunted. Um, we've been taught that's love.
Yeah.
And
Which is a
let me
huge setup for a very negative
let
relationship.
me just say it real clear. It's not love.
Yeah.
That's not authentic love.
So, and I wanted to talk, so it was our anniversary,
Yes.
17 years. We've been together 25. And the truth is that for us, we lucked out because we didn't apply what we're telling you guys to apply. We didn't have that self-awareness
Not
when we
then.
met. No.
Not
But
then.
what we did have, I had just started doing this work and I offered it to you and you you
I
you
jumped at it.
you jumped at it and
Yes.
you felt really good. It was like the skies has parted
It was awesome in my
and
opinion.
and we connected over that common interest.
Yes, we did.
And oh my gosh, that was the basis for our relationship that has made it so amazing
Yes.
all this time.
Yes.
And what we've learned as we go through this process together,
Yes.
evolving individually,
Yes.
we see that we see our own traumas and issues and
Correct.
baggage,
Correct.
and we agreed in the very, very beginning that those weren't for the other person to take care of.
We
Our
did.
our issues and our baggage was for us individually to take care of, and the other person could help if they're willing or able.
And they could see something that maybe one of us couldn't see
Yes.
about the other. And one of the things we agreed upon very early on was there would be no judgment, but if there was judgment, that would be something that would be cleared between us.
Yes, and the truth is that we know that judgment or that difficulty or that stress, and we had fights in the beginning, and now it doesn't even seem relevant anymore. It doesn't, because we've cleared all those things,
Yes.
and if we have an issue, we know it's ours,
We do now.
And then we work on it individually, and then if we need help, we the other person will help us.
Yes,
But
exactly.
it works out so well,
Hmm.
and just knowing that what our issues are,
Yeah.
and knowing when we project them on the other person has made a huge difference in our
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
Yes.
so we want you to have that. So even if you're going to go, you can say, I need to find someone. I need to
Correct.
find someone as soon as I can. I want that. It's
Right.
really important to me. Here's some tips to do.
There you go.
So the first one is clear every day.
And by the way, this is a practice that Jason and I have done. I would say in the 25 years we've been together,
Yes.
if we have missed 10 days, it's only due to circumstances of
I can't even
life.
remember. That seems really,
Well,
yeah.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
about the amount, but it was due to circumstances of what was happening in life in that moment.
Yes.
And so when you clear every day, if you're looking for a partner and you like what we're talking about here, let me just say this. One of the things that you can ask the person to do is join you as part of something to connect with every day.
And I realize that just clearing or having people that still understand the clearing and they
Yes.
get together, it's not a guarantee that everything's going to work out, but it gives you advantages that you wouldn't have
And
otherwise.
you wouldn't believe it.
And we see the opposite. People that say, "Oh my gosh, this is an amazing thing in my life," but their spouse won't have it.
Won't have
They won't talk
anything.
about it. They
Yeah.
won't think about it.
Yes.
They just have a hard
Well,
no,
actually, that was the way it was for me in every relationship I had before you.
Yeah.
And not that I did actual clearing, but anything that had to do with anything that wasn't black and white. Let me say it that way.
So how do you really clear every day? Well, okay. Listen to our show every single day, every single week. We do a show once a week.
Yes.
And go to our YouTube channel, the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia Rohn.
Mhm.
And please subscribe so you get every single show. You
Yes.
can watch it. And we started doing something else too. And I want to talk about this.
Okay.
A lot of Patricia's clients have said to her, "Oh, I wish I," and this is just last week. This happens all the time.
All the
Okay.
time, actually.
I wish I could talk to you every day. I feel
Actually, it
so
happened
much better.
yesterday, but yes.
Yeah, I feel so much better. I
Yes.
just, it feels so good to clear with you. And some of them don't have spouses that would clear with them,
That's right.
or are just resistant to any type of this,
Yes.
So we created Coffee with Patricia.
Yes.
And if you go to our YouTube channel, the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia Rohn, subscribe. There's a whole section with Coffee with Patricia.
Yes.
And the idea is that in 3 minutes or less,
Correct.
it used to be 1 minute, now it's 3 minutes.
Yes.
YouTube changed their algorithm.
Okay.
But it's to take one issue: fear, unworthiness,
Exactly.
having to give a presentation,
Hating to get up.
Yes.
I don't want to get out of bed. I hate my boss. I hate my job. Those kind of things. And that we're just going to I'm doing very small, but straight to the point, things that matter to all of us every single day.
So if you'll listen to those, and right now we have a few, we're going to keep doing them, and we're going to have a lot
Yes.
over the next year. There's going to be quite a few.
Yes.
Just connect in and
Yes.
listen to one.
Yes.
Or you're having a bad day, listen to three, and listen to it over and over again. There might be certain ones that really resonate with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen to that over and over again.
And there's clearing right in that. And then if you have a request for one,
you can always send it to us.
There we go.
Put it in the comments section. That's
Yes.
fine.
And we would love to help you out with that.
The other thing you could do is go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org, and sign up for our free section.
Correct.
We send you clearings every week. We send you a little blurb, a newsletter that's connected to the show.
Exactly. Okay.
So
we have one more thing we need to talk about,
Yes.
and then we'll do the summary of
Yes.
this segment. We said in the beginning, staying single might not be a bad idea. Jason, how radical is that?
it may be radical in some venues.
Okay.
we don't see it is. I mean, during the election, it was the single cat woman, wasn't it?
Yeah,
The
something
unmarried
like
cat
that.
woman. Yes.
Yes.
Um, the truth is that we know, and we've seen this over and over again, that the only thing, the second best to being really, really, really happily married is being single. And we see that most people who are married aren't really happy.
At all.
Most of them have dead relationships,
Yes.
um, just perfunctory relationships,
And reasons to be angry.
and they just go through the motions.
That's
They're
correct.
not happy. They're lonely, all those things.
Yes. So,
Single, when you're single, you can have your passion. You
yes.
can go look for your passion. You don't have anybody blocking you or
Yes.
ridiculing or judging you for what you're doing,
Yes.
and pursue it in a way that you go all over the world to pursue it.
Exactly.
It's very, very
It's
exciting. You could
pretty
do
awesome.
some amazing things being single.
Yes.
Single can be very, very positive. Don't keep that as an option.
Exactly. So, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
We wanted to have an option for people who are determined to find love and a mate. Yes, we have said it's important to do the work to know yourself and be developing self-awareness. But the world today, we do it backwards by finding someone, then trying to develop awareness and self-knowledge. So even if you're not ready, start by pursuing your passions, creating positive energies, and create a beacon an energy beacon to attract others.
Yes.
Also, start removing negative energy for better self-understanding. Do it daily. Get in the habit of doing it. Use Coffee with Patricia to have a way to remove the negative energy daily. Oh my gosh.
In the next segment, we're going to help you remove some negative energy that keeps you from self knowledge and seeing your issues and baggage and your motives as you look for love. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to help you remove some negative energy that keeps you from self-knowledge and seeing your issues and baggage and your motives as you look for love. So, Jason, with that said, we need to talk about how to do the clearing
Yes.
real fast.
It's very easy. You don't have to be in a special posture. You can stand up, you can be sitting, you can be walking. We often do it while we're walking in the morning.
Yeah.
Laying down, you can lay down and do it. It doesn't really matter. And so when we say and to eliminate, in your imagination, in your mind's eye, gather all that veils and illusions, barriers,
Yes.
or specific emotions, gather them up and blow them into the processor.
Correct.
And that's going to put a picture of the processor up right now. And just do it. It'll be really nice.
One of the things I want to say is it can change your life. You can survive where you are, but it can change your life and you'll have better clarity about who you are.
Yes.
It's awesome. So with that said, Jason, take it away.
I direct all my resources. Oh, by the way, if you want the words to say,
there you
go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org right now. Sign up for a free section. You can, on all of our shows, we do this. So go to our YouTube channel, Jason, the Ecosystem Approach with Jason Patricia Rohn, and subscribe, and you'll have those wordings. So,
right.
So here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that dating today has been reduced to marketing yourself in a way that can be phony and superficial and not lead to positive, healthy relationships.
Nice and easy. From the tips of your toes, pick up that negative energy, the veils and illusions. You don't want to do marketing. What you want is to be authentic. Pick all that negative energy up and throw it in the processor. Next one, and to eliminate, I'm going to shorten it up a little bit, and to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that the need to find love comes from the subconscious desire to have someone help you with issues, baggage, traumas, but that is toxic for a relationship. It's better to do it yourself using the ecosystem approach. Pick up that negative energy, veils and illusions, and throw it away. Jason?
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that attraction is an energy and is often influenced by negative and toxic energy attached to you and is
Mm-hmm.
not a reliable guide for relationships.
Well done. Pick it up and throw it away. Next one. And to eliminate all the energies that blocks so I can see my issues, baggage, and traumas more clearly and get rid of it. Nice and easy. Take a breath and blow it out. Jason?
And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that being single offers a lot of advantages for those who have uncovered their purpose and are actively pursuing those purposes in their life.
Take a breath. And the last one for the clearings, and to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that constantly clearing negative energy is the most important thing you can do for yourself to make you more attractive to other people. And by the way, it also makes you even more attractive for yourself. Nice and easy. Pick up those veils and illusions. Get rid of that negative energy that's making you feel old, fat, ugly, and wrinkled.
Or anything else.
Or anything else. Exactly. All right. We're going to do one activating life force.
Yeah, you haven't told them how to do that.
I haven't. So
Okay. Yeah.
let's do
Let's
this.
do that.
Follow along, everyone. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force energy. So I can use life force energy by pulling it in through the top of my head and letting it go all the way to the tips of my toes. And then we're going to blow out negative energy that's left over and throw it away as well. Let's go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to activate life force so I can have hope to have an amazing life with or without a partner by applying the ecosystem approach and uncovering, this is huge, everyone, my purpose and removing my issues. Pull in that life force energy. Let it go all the way to the tips of your toes. Stop it right there, turn it around, and bring up any negative energy left over, because we all have a lot of it, and throw it away. Very, very good.
So, one of the things I want to talk about is this idea of doing it yourself. If you have issues and traumas, instead of looking to another person to help you with that,
Or carry it for you.
yes, it's better to do it yourself. And the whole ecosystem approach is based on that idea.
Yes.
And it's not, yeah, I realize there's a place for therapy, traditional therapy.
Yes.
But we've had people come to us over the years saying, I've done the therapy and that didn't work very well. And what happens is that therapy doesn't necessarily, we know this because we're intuitives. We see this very clearly. It doesn't necessarily change the energy.
Correct.
And that's real healing happens when you change the energy.
Absolutely.
And so
it's lasting.
It's lasting, absolutely. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with talking to someone, and there are times when you just need someone to talk to and kind of work these things out. I know we talk to each other.
We do.
And we do have an advantage with that.
I admit, yeah.
But we always end up clearing it at the end, so we get insights for ourselves.
Yes.
We both have had a lot of therapy prior to getting together.
Yes.
And we learned some superficial things about ourselves, but it didn't change who we were. It's only when we started using the ecosystem approach, oh my gosh,
that things actually started changing. And I just want to put in this little blurb, and I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. One of the things that I found, and that we have found together, is that when we have excess weight that we're carrying around, I'm talking actual physical weight, when you start using the ecosystem approach, believe it or not, everyone, you can actually start losing excess weight and taking better care of yourself because you're not carrying around the baggage that's weighing you down.
We've talked about how baggage issues and traumas, how they affect your relationship.
Yes.
But the truth is they affect everything in your life. They affect your physical health. They affect your likability.
Yes.
They affect your weight,
Yes.
your physical ability,
and your emotional health.
Yes.
And not, and even your mental health. When you start removing negative energies, it's so awesome to not have to carry around that baggage because it's exhausting.
So when we say do it yourself,
This is-
it's not just for finding a relationship.
No.
It's for your whole life.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, it'll be the best asset you can have when you go into a relationship.
Correct.
And even if the other person isn't on board,
Yes.
it'll help you deal with that other person in a much more effective way.
Well, because if you think you have baggage, I
Yeah.
guarantee you,
Yeah.
so does the other.
Yeah.
So will the other person.
Yes,
Absolutely.
you know, so that's sort of a given, and I see that we're going to be okay. So if you want to do it yourself, if
Yes.
you want to have a love in your life, if you want to have more self-knowledge and
Correct.
self-awareness, this is what you do. It's pretty simple. We've made it simple for you. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org. Sign up for our free section.
Correct.
It's completely free. We only ask for your email address. We don't spam you. We don't sell that email
No.
address, any of that. And that gives you access to all sorts of information on our website.
Correct.
Plus, you get your weekly newsletter that tells a little bit about the show, but it has all the clearings that we do every week written out.
Yeah.
And you can go and go to past newsletters and shows.
That's correct.
Have even more clearings there.
That is absolutely correct.
And hopefully at some point you start to create your own clearing statements
Yes.
for your personal traumas
Exactly.
as you become more and more aware of what they are.
Yes.
It's really positive. So do that. Go to our YouTube channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Rohn. Go and subscribe. Go like if you're watching right now there,
Yes.
please like us.
Yes.
You would appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel. Start listening to Coffee with Patricia. Oh my gosh,
Exactly.
that could be amazing.
And find a clearing buddy. It might not be the mate that you're looking for, but find a clearing buddy, because when you bounce things off of each other, you'll see things that can be cleared. It's really, really awesome.
You can go to our Facebook page, The
you
Ecosystem
go.
Approach,
Yes.
on Facebook and like us, or watch the shows there.
Exactly.
And we're on other media outlets also.
And so with all of that said, we will connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show with Jason and Patricia.
Living like an ecosystem is the key, not only to a relationship, but for a better life for you.
Yes, start today.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.